I've been using Super Clean heavily since the early 80s. It came out in 78 or 79, and I used to use gunk, and gunk just always left a white film on engines and whatever you sprayed it on, and you had to then go back and clean that off. Super Clean would degrease engines and make them look like brand new without leaving any film. Take this dirty engine compartment here. It's just from average driving, I mean nothing really bad, just on dirty roads, and it's dusty and a little greasy in spots. A lot of automotive shops and detailing shops will use Super Clean to detail an engine compartment to make it look like new. Okay. Now you may be thinking that pressure washing is going to clean the engine up anyways, and you wouldn't need to use a degreaser, but I'm using this pressure washer because I'm detailing this car out. So I'm blowing away leaves and dirt and some other places stuff, but trust me on this, you have to use a degreaser, and Super Clean is the best to use to actually get the plastics and the dirt and the grease off and make it look like new. I mean, you can use a water hose, but I always use a pressure washer because it's cheaper on water and you just get a better end result. As you can see, the end result is it all looks like brand new. I mean, there's going to be spots and stuff that you can't get out with Super Clean, but that's just more blemishes in like the plastic. It's got a few spots in it from just years of age, but you get a professional looking job. There's no residue left over. Everything's nice and clean, like a brand new engine. One thing that really annoys me on cars to have gaslit doors like this is that blackness that vapors around it. And what this is a mix of grease and mildew deriving from the evaporating residues of your fuel, often caused by a bad fuel cap. So any type of escaping fuel vapor can cause this blackness to come around your little door for your fuel cap. And if you notice, when you open it up inside, it gets really, really black looking, and soap and water that you use to wash your car just will not get rid of it. And I've actually tried some degreasers like Purple Power and some other odds and ends. I can't think of the other ones. I'm definitely not gunk, but I have found that Super Clean, when you spray it on there, it just gets rid of it right away. It makes it look brand new. Now you can see how clean it looks now. I'd already cleaned this before I shot this video, and I wish I had waited. At the time I didn't know I was going to be doing this, but all of this inside of here, everything up in the cracks, it was just completely black from all that vapor, especially the inside of the gas lid door. And after using Super Clean, it cleaned up, made it look like new. As you can see, no more vapor bleeding up through here. I wanted to point out something too. Anytime you use any type of chemicals, a degreaser, wax and tar remover, anything like that, it's going to remove the wax on your car. So if you do spray a degreaser or Super Clean to get rid of the black vapor stain that it puts around your gas lid door or on the door, be sure to go back and wax it. Also, on that note, if you washed and waxed your car all the time, you probably wouldn't have that vapor stain on the side of your car. So just something to make note of. Where I can't live without my Super Clean is when it comes to parts washing, engine parts, bearings, anything like that. Most solutions are usually oil based. Like if most people use kerosene, I've seen some people use gasoline, which I would not recommend, but mineral spirits, most of those solutions are oil based. So even after you wash your parts, it leaves an oil based film, and sometimes what people don't realize, especially with bearings, it keeps it from actually being lubricated with the grease that you put or oils that you put back on it. So it's best to get the parts back down to the bare steel, so to speak. So Super Clean will wash these chemicals or these oil bases off. So I'll wash my car parts, my engine parts, then I'll use the Super Clean directly right onto it, and then I'll wash it off with a water hose. So it's something to make note of how good Super Clean and parts washing do come in handy. Obviously, this lawnmower is excessively dirty from just normal use, but on top of that, it actually has the output shaft on the engine with the oil leak, so it's actually slinging oil all over the frame. And the best way to clean this up and either locate your leak or just get it cleaned up, to make your repair, is Super Clean. It's been the best degreaser I've found for lawnmowers with just regular dirt or oils. And as you can see now, the lawnmower looks practically new there. The engine looks all bright and vibrant. And now, if I didn't already know where the oil leak was, this would help find it. But it's going to make it a lot easier when I go pull the motor off to put the seal on, so I don't have to get as dirty, and everything will be clean and ready to go. Now, another good product by Super Clean is the floor absorbent. I'm almost out of it, but I love this floor absorbent. It's not like regular oil dry. It's a little more powdered, and it soaks up that oil so much better. Now, a lot of times for an oil stain on the floor, I'll use just the regular Super Clean degreaser and then wash the floor out. But for a small spot like that, and it'd be crazy to do that, and the aerosol works just as good for small spots. And now the oil stain or the oil slick is gone. Don't have to worry about slipping and sliding when I come by. Now I use the Super Clean aerosol for cleaning like the tops of my boxes, my air compressor, usually most of my equipment. I have used liquid degreasers like you would use in your kitchen or bathroom many a times, and it works okay, but it's like I said, it's basically pure liquid. I don't want it running down in my toolboxes, and it has. It doesn't really quite cut the grease because it's not really made for automotive or mechanic type grease. But the Super Clean aerosol degreaser works perfect because it sprays a nice little foam. When you see that it's cut the grease and the dirt right off. I mean, it's in the garage when you're working on cars, and especially if you're doing any kind of paint, body work, or if you're doing grinding. I'm always doing grinding and welding, and that just covers my equipment with all this. So I usually use one towel to kind of wipe the grease down. And you can use a cloth rag, it doesn't matter. I just happen to have some paper towels here that's handy. And you can see there, put a shine back to it. It makes it look almost like it did when I bought it. Now, one other use that I've found for Super Clean, it's not mechanical, but I had to remodel a house that family lived in, and they smoked, and it came down to where I was going to have to probably pull the sheetrock off the walls. But instead I tried Super Clean in a pump sprayer, and I sprayed the wall. I filled this pump sprayer up, sprayed the walls, and it actually washed all the tar and nicotine right off the sheetrock. And you can see, like, in the ceiling areas were just horrible. Matter of fact, one room, the wall, the ceiling was almost black. And started spraying Super Clean. I used a sponge mop to dab off what I sprayed on the ceiling, because you can't exactly really rub textured ceilings, but I'd spray it with a pump sprayer and then use just a cheap sponge mop and just dab the top until I pulled it all off. I also kept a bucket of Super Clean and water mix with towels. Of course, I wore gloves because this stuff would dry your hands out after a while, but I restored all the walls. I got rid of all the tar and nicotine, then used oil-based kills, and everything turned out great. So as you can see, no matter if you're doing mechanic work, lawnmower work, maintenance in your toolboxes, your equipment around your shop, doing auto body cleaning, or even just doing carpentry work and cleaning off tar and nicotine off walls. I've even used it for cleaning ovens and grills and stuff, where other stuff wouldn't cut it. Super Clean's your best bet. You just can't go wrong using Super Clean, especially if you're a mechanic, auto body guy, or just a plain old do-it-yourself guy at anything.